I want to explore with you a common thread or a common theme that we see over and over and over again with a lot of people who struggle with injury, setback, or don't see enough consistency in their training. And it's this notion that every single session needs to have a level of difficulty to it. You should be leaving every single session pretty empty. You've emptied the tank, you're sweating, you've experienced those massive endorphins, those highs. That's not the case. A sustainable training program is going to be managing those highs and lows along with you. Like you want to be appropriately delivering those highs at the logical times throughout the week, throughout your training program. A lot of people are very much stuck in this mindset, whether they're in the gym environment, whether they're up on the track, they're on the turbo, they're in the water, where they need to kind of get that hit. They need to get that they need to be pushed. You know, they're going into every environment and training with anyone they're working with, and they've got to feel that need, and it's because potentially their training is serving a different purpose. It's a stress relief. It's the thing that's going to allow them to be distracted from other areas of their life which maybe they're struggling with, or they just simply they're just seeking out that buzz every single day. This is a very volatile relationship to be having with your training, and it's why a lot of people have unbelievable inconsistency and they lack that ability to just layer more and more training into their life, because they just keep putting themselves on the sidelines. They keep giving themselves little niggles, injuries. They keep experiencing bigger lows of motivation because of fatigue potentially. What we're looking for here, guys, is that wonderful balance of difficulty versus competency, where you are able to go into a session and you are able to complete the majority of that session with confidence, with great control, with great technique, great form. But there are moments in those sessions where you're having to peak. You're going to be challenged with more complexity, with certain drills, certain behaviors, which are going to peak you. But they don't have to peak you physiologically all the time. They don't have to leave you with maximal heart rate, with maximal exertion, lifting the heaviest amount of weight or the highest amount of reps. It's about adding these logical dosages of complexity, high intensity, maximal load, maximal duration at the appropriate times. When you're self-coached, when you are being coached in a group environment, up at a track, in the water, out on a bike ride, you're being trained, you're doing your strength and conditioning in a group training environment. These are all environments where this gets abused over and over and over again. The evidence is everywhere. Like evidence is, it's a common stream of conversation where people have got these little ongoing niggles and setbacks, and they can't seem to get to those levels that they feel that they can do with their training. It's because there's a state of overtraining. Things are too hard too often. A great training program will have this wonderful relationship where you'll have things that you're very confident in and that you enjoy doing and you kind of find relatively easy maybe, and other things in that session that you struggle with. Having this nice blend is perfect. This is why a lot of rehab programs don't work, guys, because rehab can be it's too focused on the problem, the site of the problem, which is generally weak, deconditioned, lacks range of motion, and it's unbelievably disempowering. This is why we make all of our training, even our rehab programming, whenever we design a rehab program for like a knee, a hip, a foot, or whatever we're dealing with, we're always going to give them other things to be working on. That's what a great S&C program does for someone, because it works them holistically. It's going to work on other areas. Someone who can't run, cool. Let's get them on the bike. Let's get them in the water. Like, what else can we be getting them doing on their endurance program? Allowing them to remain entertained, motivated, seeing positive change, but they're still doing the hard stuff. But it's not just the hard stuff. It's not just the miserable stuff, like the stuff that you don't feel like you're getting much traction with, momentum with, because it takes time. Not everything needs to be hard, okay? In terms of managing your energy availability, in terms of managing your kind of motivation, in terms of just seeing that nice consistency which is going to allow you to get results in the long term, we want to have this wonderful relationship where you've got things that you're very competent in, you can build confidence with, and there's other things that are going to be difficult. But it's finding that sweet spot, and everyone is different. You are very different, and it depends on what else is going on in your life, where your head's at, how much consistency you've had in the past up until this point. Just keep that in mind, because it's maybe the thing that keeps derailing you, taking you off track. But if you can find that sweet spot, this is how you can build real momentum, real consistency.